many videos out on the channel, and 2 of them have been here doing the same thing.
Yeah, but that's fine.
We're not very like adventurous with the videos. We'll take that. Exactly what I said last time. It's good, mate. It's good, to be fair. Bit deep dish, aren't they? A bit too much, really. So you see that video of Senko on his TT bike in like Tenerife or something, or Gran Canaria? No. Just going downhill randomly or chilling.
The wind.
It just took him. Just clean took the bike away from under him. Him and his teammates went smack on the ground. Oh, they're chilling. They weren't even pedaling. Right, these are my abnormally expensive wheels that I've ridden about 3 times in a year. I reckon.
I know.
What do you reckon? 3 times? Not a lot. In single figures.
You've probably rode them in how long you've had them? Less than 20 times.
No, it's less than 10.
I've
100% ridden them less than 10. I reckon it's like 4 or 5.
Brilliant.
Well done.
Nice one. Yeah. Well, when did the last video? People would have watched it after Bahrain.
So Bahrain final episode has just come out.
Yeah. So Bahrain was like, I think we had promising pace in quali. Couldn't put it together for different reasons. But then the race pace, we were struggling a bit with the tyres. I think we understood why. So I was already quite confident going into Jeddah that we kind of would fix that problem on YouTube, but we fluked a couple of points.
I think we put a lucky break.
That was it, a lucky break. Yeah, we fluked our points because, to be honest, we weren't last, but
struggling. Eh?
We were struggling at some point in that feature race in Bahrain.
Hard viewing at a point.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh my god.
Because you don't think anything's going to come of it in the end. Because there was like, at this point, there was like 7 or 8, even less actually. It was probably like 5 or 6 laps to go, and we were like 40, 50 seconds, even a minute behind.
Well, it's the first race where I haven't had like headphones to hear what you're saying, so I had no idea what was going on. Could see you were massively
It's a good job
off.
you didn't have the headphones, to be honest. You would have heard a lot of swearing probably.
Yeah, I think you've got, as we both know in racing, you've got to have a little bit of luck at times.
Mate, I've had enough scenarios in racing or examples where I should have got a highlight result and got it taken away from me. So I'm going to take this one. I'll take that one, 2 points that we didn't think we were going to get.
And then I had to come home.
You had to come home because you prioritised being a best man to your best mate.
Yeah. It was a good day for me because on the way to the wedding, I was watching your race.
When I was in the lead in the sprint race?
Yeah.
Yeah, on Saturday.
On the way to the wedding.
Yeah.
And I was going mental. P3.
P3 on Saturday.
Morally.
Yeah, morally is a good word. I like that.
Because I'm sure the guys have seen by now that you got disqualified.
Yeah, we got disqualified for having a part of the plank, which is this like wooden skid we have on the bottom of the car, which protects the car when it's bottoming. Was 0.4 of a millimetre too low on one corner, and the rest were fine. But we were too low because when you watch it on TV, if anyone watched the race, which anyone watching this probably did, but if they wanted to go and watch it back and see what I'm talking about, you can see the smoke pouring off the back of the car already on lap 1.
You could see it from a lot of the guys lap 1 that it was happening, but you were
more than most.
Throughout the whole race were excessive with it.
I think it was also worse for us because it sounds weird, because if you have a green race, completely green race, I think we still would have been struggling with it. But it sounds weird when you're under safety car for so long, which we had, and the tyre pressures lose 2-3 psi or whatever. The ride height sits lower, so even though you're going slower but you're weaving, you are scraping the ground because the car, when you push and the tyre pressure come up, the car raises.
Yeah.
So the plank is static is higher, but obviously when you get downforce, they're pushing it back down. So I don't know which would be worse. Like if we had a green race, would we have actually wore the plank? And from my side, I didn't mention this, but what we had with the car bottoming on the sprint race was slower. Like it is slower.
You've created, if it's
just drag, it's just friction, just friction.
Well, look at when Lawson overtook you.
Yeah, well, he even said to me on the podium afterwards, I was gaining like half a second on you on the straight. So
there you go then.
So we were P3 on pace, and actually we were compromised on pace. But rules are rules, so we absolutely 100% agree that with the decision to disqualify me. But it's just to say that, you know, when sat here now after the weekend, thinking about the fact that we're on the podium, I got to lift the trophy. I don't take that as, oh, we did that undeservingly
Yeah,
in many ways.
yeah.
Like undeservingly because we were illegal, but in terms of pace, like we deserve to be there.
Yeah.
So to get that, and then the P4 especially on Sunday.
So let's start with the first one from Lee. How do you think progress is going this season?
Good if you take it from sort of at least from Bahrain to Jeddah. I mean, just the jump we made there is quite alarming. So in a good way. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. We've still got a lot of stuff to learn and tidy up, but we've got a quick car underneath. So it's just about learning the intricacies of F2 to arrive there every session, every time with the right tyre, basically. Yeah. So I think we're getting on top of that quicker than most new teams would, let's say.
That leads nicely into, was the team able to resolve the temperature and grip issues you faced in Bahrain?
Yeah, we were. We had one of the quickest race cars, if not, to be honest, especially on Sunday with the medium tyre. We were a bit ambitious, I think, on the sprint race with the soft tyre. So we degraded or overheated, let's say, there. But I think you could see from the sprint race that the soft tyre, the feature race, the soft tyre was very much on the limit.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really much to do with the car. It was more to do with the tyre compound.
Do you think Jeddah is safe, and should it stay on the calendar?
There's a few areas that I think they should change, and you could argue are not safe, but I want it to stay on the calendar because to be honest, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, you love Macau.
Yeah, honestly, I love street tracks.
Yeah.
So it's the fastest one I've driven. So yeah, I would love to keep it on. There's a few areas like the 10-11 area where you saw like a few F2 cars, and I think Mick Schumacher crashed, where they need to create some runoff area or at least change the curb there so the cars aren't on the limit when they go over it. But yeah, I think there were a few more changes. It should start to bring it into a window. So
a quick one here about how does the car feel to drive? Is it very heavy, but is it surprisingly pointy on the front?
And this was more attributed to Jeddah than Bahrain. The steering is so heavy. Mate, in Bahrain it was heavy, but it was fine. It was, could live with it, and I did. But in Jeddah, I went out in free practice. I don't know what tarmac they've put down there, but it's the grippiest tarmac in the world. In the world, honestly, I don't know where else would be more grippier than Jeddah. And I went out in FP, and my God, my arms were on fire.
How was the podium?
Oh, it was great, but it's only when I realised on TV that we didn't have an announcer. So when you watch it on TV, there's like, and P3 Jake Hughes, blah blah blah, and no, I don't come out.
Oh, because there wasn't actually one.
I don't come out, so we're waiting behind the podium with a lady who's in charge of it, and she didn't send us out or anything like that. So it's not like we just messed up. But on TV, it's funny because you have the announcer saying P3 Jake Hughes at the track. There was no announcer. Even when we were spraying the champagne and they go like, and now champagne.
Yeah. That
was not there.
Oh,
so we're all on the podium like, what do we do? Is it picture? Is it champagne? But on TV they're going, oh, it's champagne, and we just don't know what to do.
2 quick fire questions here, short answers. How was the tyre deck?
On the soft tyre was a lot. It's just overheating. We tend to classify the two as two different things in the paddock. So deg and then overheating are two different things. But on the soft tyre was a lot. On the medium it was great. It's a great tyre, that medium.
Cool.
We've got same compounds in Imola actually. So.
And then how much can you send it in the race? Probably leads on from the soft tyre question.
Well, with 3 DRSs in Jeddah, the DRS zones are not straight, apart from the one down the finish straight.
Yeah.
The other two are like curved. Mate, on the start of the race, when you've got, I don't know how much fuel, I should know that, but I don't, heavy car, and you open DRS, the car was moving. Like, I had to close it sometimes, like, just through the curves. But yeah, because it's too much on the limit for the rear. But no, I feel like the DRS zones in F2 there were enough that it wasn't easy to overtake, but enough that you could go for it. So it was quite nicely balanced.
So yeah, so that wraps it up. That's our Saudi, Jeddah, Bahrain sort of catch up.
Recap, yeah.
But yeah, there'll be some more videos coming.
Yeah, so as always, like, subscribe, comment, follow me and Alex on all social media. I have a TikTok now, so go and have a look at that. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks, guys.